your neck, Emily. Hi, Emily. And Paul, your feet from standing all day. Yeah, you asked about your feet the other day too. Okay, Meg. Hi, Meg. Your neck and shoulders. Okay, so I would like to end up in shoulder stand. So if you could grab 3 blankets, possibly. You need some height. You might have beach towels, a couple beach towels, maybe 2 or 3 large beach towels you could get. I mean, it'd be great if you could get a strap. And if you have a bolster, get that too. Oh, Paul, you work in a hospital too? Oh my God. Okay, you guys are answering my prayer because, hi, Julie. Hi, Shiana. Okay, neck and shoulders, big time. Okay. All right. We're going to address this stuff tonight. But I was saying that you guys are addressing the answer to my prayer, because I've been really chanting and praying to be able to help people in the medical community. And I was like, how do I do that? How do I get out there and offer my services to people on the front lines? So thank you so much. I just want to cry. I really want to just cry for you guys. Thank you. It's not a good way to start class. But I just know I can't even imagine what you see, what you deal with all day. So thank you. Okay, so I'm also going to put this link on my social media for my on Facebook and Instagram. So my Instagram handle is @ShaktiBuddha. And no, will I be able to post it there? No, but I will be able to post it on my Facebook, which is Dawn Stillo. And then I have Dawn Stillo Yoga as well. I've got 2. I'd like to get rid of one, but I will post this video, and you can pass it on to your people that you work with, please. Please feel free to copy it and then share it with people at the hospital, nurses, anyone that you see fit, okay? Hopefully you guys will do that, and it'll be a nice way for me to help in a small way that I can. Okay, it is 6 o'clock. Let's begin. So let's grab 2 blankets. My name's Dawn Stillo, and we're having a gentle yoga class tonight and addressing some of the stress in the body. So tension starts to manifest in the body as tension. So we do yoga to relieve the body of the stress. So it's important, and I acknowledge each and every one of you for joining in tonight to help to alleviate some of that pent up stress in the body. So I hope you have 2 blankets or towels or something that you can use. We're going to start a little different. So take 1 blanket in a rectangle shape like this. If you have yoga blankets, these are just Mexican blankets. I'm going to fold that in thirds. So I make it into a shape that could fit in between my frontal hip bones. The frontal hip bones are those bony protrusions there. Okay, so it's a thinner, longer line there. And I'll set that down onto the mat. And I'm going to have another blanket, I call this shoulder stand shape. And you're going to fold that in half again, just so it's like that. And that will go up towards the top of your mat. We're going to take this long one that's in thirds and roll it like a sleeping bag. So nice and tight, and roll it maybe just 1 or 1.5 revolutions over, because that's going to go in your belly. And then you'll take that other blanket and that'll support your forehead. So hold this little ball tight, and we'll come down, and this little ball is going to be set right in between the frontal hip points above the pubic bone and below the navel, in the lower belly quadrant there. So as I come down, I'm going to hold that so it doesn't spring open and set that ball that fits inside the frontal hip bones and above the pubic bone, below the navel. And then you can fold, I might fold my blanket in half again to be able to set my forehead down. And then take your arms out to the side, elbows same height as the shoulders, and rest the forehead down. Just in a place where you can breathe, yeah? You want your nose not in the blanket. And then you can adjust that. If that ball is too big, you can make it smaller. If it's not big enough, you can roll it a little more to make it bigger. And then let the legs be wide, and let yourself melt over that little rolled blanket. It's nice. It's different to start prone. And I'm looking at you, but you keep your head down. And start to shift your hips slowly, slowly over to the right. So maybe your outer right hip touches the floor. So that blanket will go deeper inside that right hip. And then super slow, go over to the other side. So you'll start to feel different things in the abdomen as we slowly roll side to side. And if you need to adjust, move up or down or make it bigger, you can do that. You can stay and linger anywhere that you find a tension spot. And then let's roll to the right with the right hip down and just stay there for a little bit. And bend your left knee. Let the left knee come up so that that blanket goes a little deeper. If that's too much, you can take the leg straight. And then straighten the left leg and slowly roll over to the left, so the left hip comes down to the mat. And you can stay with your legs straight, or maybe you take that right knee up so the knee is just pointing off to the side. Breathe into your lower back, and as you exhale, let everything soften. Take the right leg back out straight and come back to center. And please take your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to set your knees down and roll yourself up. Okay, I'm going to move this down a little because I run out of room. And I felt like there was more tension above that area. So I'm going to keep that ball, and let's set the ball down just below, or just on and below the navel band. Okay, and take your other blanket for your forehead. And I already feel I got my tension spot. I feel it. Everyone will be different. And then set your forehead down and elbows out to the side. Maybe you feel your heartbeat down there in the gut. You feel that pulsing. And slowly go side to side. If it's too much, you can come out or make the roll smaller. We'll just gently go side to side. Maybe there's some knots in there. And next time the hips go to the right, we'll keep the hip to the right. And let's see what it feels like to bend that left knee. Slow the breath. And then straighten the left leg, and we'll slowly go over to the left. Keep the hip down. That might be enough. If you want to try bending the right leg up to the side. And then take that leg back out straight and come back to center. Setting the forehead down if you haven't already. And then we'll slide the hands under the shoulders and slowly come on up. Okay, I'm gonna roll that blanket. We're gonna actually take the blanket up a little higher. So there's a couple ways to come into this. And we're gonna set it right inside the upper rib cage. So that blanket, so you feel the ribs here on the upper torso. So when that blanket will kind of go inside that portion there. So let's come down, and you can move your blanket as needed. Have that ready for your head. And set the little roll down, and you can feel it's now in the upper part, in the diaphragmatic band. Well, that diaphragm, we want to keep it loose. When it gets tight, they say that's where fear rides, BKS Iyengar. When they tighten the diaphragmatic band, that's fear. We'll keep this loose. So I'm feeling this pretty intensely. So you might be as well. If it's okay, you come down and set your forehead on the blanket. You can use your elbows to ease your way down. Make sure it's not too intense right off the bat. And then slowly roll side to side. So that blanket goes inside. Go to the right. The hips go to the right. That blanket edge goes inside the right rib cage a little bit. And we'll go over to the other side. Softening the front of the body. Do one more time each side. So this is interesting, right? Interesting is a good word. We're not judging. We're just feeling what is going on. And maybe you don't feel anything. But everyone holds their tension in different places. And come back to center in a few breaths. Relax the shoulders. And then come up. Let's take your elbows underneath you. And we'll take the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, and come up. And we're going to take one of these blankets. We can open it up. Let's just take this one that was a third and open that back up and fold it into shoulder stand shape. So that's its back to its what I call, this is the standard shoulder stand yoga shape. And let's fold that, let's start with just this single height and pull that up into the hip crease. And separate your knees, hip bone distance apart. Press down with the sides of the blanket. So the hip creases are being pressed down, and lift the belly up and over the blanket as you come forward. And set your palms down and set the forehead on the backs of your hands. Or maybe you stack your fists to set your forehead on, whichever height you need. Actually, a little higher is nicer. If you have a block nearby, you could set the block underneath your forehead as well. And now the blanket is helping to fill in. The belly is filling in towards the back of the body. And breathe into your back, into your lower back. The belly is a little softer now. Slowing the breath to a slow count of 5 or 6 each direction. And then on your next inhalation, set your hands under your shoulders and inhale, come up. And let's take that blanket off to the side. You feel some things moving or just happening? I think things are like starting to shift a little bit there. And let's have something underneath your head. It could be a bolster. It could be a block. We're going to come forward into downward facing dog. So take your hands forward of your bolster, maybe the block, whatever you have, could be blankets that are stacked, and have your hands in front of that. Whatever support you have is right under your chest. And start to pull the front body to the back body, and we'll tuck the toes and go up and back into down dog, and set your head down, crown of your head down onto the block or whatever support you have. Spin the inner thighs back, reach the hip points up and back. Let the sit bones lengthen up and back. Inner thighs gently roll back. We'll be here 5 more breaths. You can close your eyes and focus on the breath. Keeping it long and smooth. And one more breath. And then please come high to the tippy toes and set your knees down, same exact time. And we'll come to sit. Grab a little bit of height, just one of these blankets, shoulder stand shape, just so there's a little height underneath your hips, and we'll sit in Sukhasana. Just my hips are on the blanket, and have a block in front of you if you have one, and another block outside your. Let's all begin with the right shin in front. I'll mirror you. And set the block behind your right hip, the other one. Okay. And sitting so that the knees are somewhat on the same plane as the frontal hip points. If the knees are a lot higher, just simply sit up on something to take your hips up a little more, and that'll let the knees go down. Notice the difference in the front of the body. As you inhale, let that diaphragm be free. Breathe vertically, horizontally out. And exhale, everything comes back to the midline. As you inhale, the side ribs go to the side. That's the spreading of your awareness. And as you exhale, everything comes back. And on an inhalation, please take your arms straight up. Sit bones root down as the sides of the waist go up. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, begin to revolve to your right. Just using the internal levers. Inhale, go up. And exhale, revolve a little bit more. Keep the left sit bone heavy. And then please release your arms down. The left hand to the outside of the right knee, the other hand onto the block. And inhale, roll the chest up. And on an exhalation, you can use your hands to help rotate a little more, revolve. One more breath. Inhale, go up. Wing the elbows out like wings of a bird. And exhale, revolve. And we'll come back to center. Take that block that was behind your right hip, behind the left. And we'll switch shins. So now taking the left shin in front. See that you can touch your feet just outside your knees. You're crossing at the center of the shins. And inhale the arms up. The sit bones root down. Lengthen the sides of the waist. Inhale. And exhale, we'll begin to revolve to the left. Inhale, go up. And exhale, revolve to the left. Inhale, go up. And exhale, release the arms down, using the arms now to help twist a little bit more. Let that right sit bone lengthen down as you root more into the sit bones. The chest is going up. And exhale, revolve. That's also helping the gut region, the twisting. And inhale, come forward. We're going to switch the shins again. Right shin in front. And take your left elbow and hook it outside your right knee. And set both hands down. Just to the side of your left hip. Right hip, excuse me. And as you press into the left elbow, roll the chest up. And then begin to revolve, looking over your right shoulder. That's getting deep in the gut as well. Inhale, roll the chest up. Press into the elbow and revolve. And then release. Inhale, come up. And we'll switch the shins. Left shin in front, Sukhasana. Feet underneath the knees. Taking the right elbow outside the left knee. Placing both hands down onto the floor. And inhale, lengthen. And exhale, press into the right elbow as you taking the right ribs towards the side of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, revolve more. But lift the chest. Look up over the left shoulder. And then release. Okay. Take your legs out, Upavishta Konasana. I never use that block. and let the inner thighs go down. The inner thighs will be glued to the floor. If your inner thighs aren't down, lift the hips higher. And press out. Let the inner legs lengthen away from each other as you press out through the heels. The knees, the toes are straight up. Inhale the arms up. Press the thighs down. Exhale, revolve to the right. Inhale, go up. And exhale, set your hands down on either side of your right leg, and use your hands to revolve it even more. Press out through the left leg as you revolve. And we'll come back up. Inhale the arms up. Revolve to the left. Inhale, go up. And set the arms down. One hand on either side of that front leg and use the hands to help revolve the chest even more. Pressing out through the right heel. Keep equanimity in the pose. And then come forward and grab inside your knees and bring the feet together. Baddha Konasana. The outside edges of your feet touch. Open the feet like a book. And then you can let the the elbows press into the inner legs gently and round. Maybe your elbows go down towards the floor. Any amount of stretch here is fabulous. Release the head. And let the shoulders relax down. Stay for a few breaths, allowing the spine to release, breathing into the lower back. And then on your next inhalation, come up. That pose helps to prevent sciatica and also helpful for sciatica. You bring the knees together and take your legs out straight for a moment. Flex your feet, press the thighs down, and we'll inhale the arms up. As you press the thighs down, lift the sides of the waist and let's go up and over. If you grab the sides of your feet, maybe you have a strap, and lift the chest up away from the thighs and just a little forward fold. Let the lower back spread and widen. Three more breaths. Just keeping the breath in that samavriti, equal churning. The inhalation, the exhalation match each other in their length. Just slowing it down. And then please take your hands under the shoulders and press into the hands to inhale and come up. Okay, we're going to do some shoulder work to start to release some of the tension in your neck and upper back and your shoulder. I said the shoulders. So please, you're going to need a strap. So if you don't have a strap, you can grab a bathrobe, sash, or dog leashes work, anything you have. Okay. We'll have the feet a little wider than hip bone distance apart and have the toes facing forward. Take your hands wide onto the strap with the palms facing down. And I have the strap kind of in between my thumb and my forefinger there. And take the strap up. Inhale, go up, and exhale. Take the strap a third of the way back. So that strap can slide in your hands if you need it wider. And press back with your hands. Press back with the arms. The chest lifts and take the tailbone forward. And then you find that sticky part. As the arms go down, that sticky part. So hang out there. Lift the chest, tailbone forward. And if you need to widen your hands more to let the strap go all the way down behind your back. Inhale the arms up and exhale them all the way over. Okay, so now you know where to adjust your hands. Inhale, come up, and exhale, go over. Find that sticky place, that right where you feel the tension, and notice if the back wants to arch. Take the tailbone forward. Lift the chest. There's a slight pulling of the strap apart as the chest lifts, pressing out through the inner arms. Lift the chest, and then exhale. Release the arms behind you. Inhale, come up. And exhale back over. Inhale the arms up. We'll do something a little different. And then I want you to bend the elbows. Have so the strap is pretty much behind the head. And then take your elbows straight back behind you. And as the elbows go back, the elbows are shoulder height. Press the shoulder blades into the back so the chest lifts. And then straighten your arms. Lift the chest and exhale the arms down. We'll inhale the arms up and over. And now maybe it's getting better. If you want to try to take your hands a little closer, you can. You don't have to. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows so that strap is basically touching the back of your head. And then take your elbows straight back behind you. Lift the chest, tailbone forward. You can pulsate those elbows back just a little here. And then maybe you take and straighten the arms straight back. Exhale the arms down behind. And inhale the arms up and over. Okay, how was that? Did I hear you out there? I think I heard. You're like, wow. Okay, roll the shoulders. And we'll stand with the feet hip bone distance apart. Inhale the arms out to the side. Going to take the right arm over the left and then hug your shoulders. Walk the fingers back so that you're trying to grab your inner shoulder blades. Lift the elbows a little here and then lift the forearms and try to set the left fingers in your right palm. If that doesn't work out, please don't worry. You can take the backs of the hands together, even with that right arm out straight, pulling that arm across is okay. Ideally, we try to get the palms together. I'm going to stand sideways. And then reach your elbows away from your body and then up. Let the shoulders go down. The inner shoulder blades melt down the back. The muscles at the base of the neck go down the back. And once again, reach the elbows away from the body and then up. Garudasana arms, eagle pose. And then take your breath deep behind your heart. Big breaths. Elbows up, shoulders down. Shoulder blades go down the back. Maybe looking one eyeball on either side of your beak. One more breath. And then stay here. Drop your head over to the left. And inhale it up. Drop your head over to the other side. And inhale up. Take your arms out to the side, reach, and exhale the arms down. Okay, so that's a different part of the shoulders we felt. You can roll the shoulders a few times each way. And other side, inhale the arms up. This time, left arm on top of the right. Grab around that back of the body, crawl the fingers back, trying to get those inner shoulder blades. And you can lift your elbows a little here, and then lift the forearms, trying to set the right hand, the fingers, the palm into the left palm. Doesn't make it, back to the hands, or reach the arm across. And lift the elbows up and then away from you. Let the muscles at the very base of the neck, the nape of the neck, go down. Elbows up, reach them away. And gazing on either side of your wrists, come back to the breath. Inhale behind the heart. Feel that expansion in between the shoulder blades. The rhomboids. Gazing on either side of the hands. One more breath. And then please drop your right ear over towards the right shoulder. And inhale the head up and over to the other side. And inhale, come back up. Reach your arms out to the side. And exhale the arms down. Okay, roll the shoulders. How's that feeling? You can circle your arms a few times. And roll the shoulders each direction. All right, I'm going to check my sequence. Okay, so we do have time for this. All right, I want you to stand your feet a little wider than hip bone distance apart. And you're just going to take your right arm straight ahead. And notice the shoulder blade on the back. It's not stuck. So let that outer shoulder blade wrap to the outside of the rib so that arm moves tremendously. You see that movement there? And then keep that extension with the shoulder blade as the arm goes up. Look up towards your right thumb. When your arm gets to the top, turn the palm out and look back. Have that right arm go straight back behind you as you pull the left shoulder back, but make that right arm go straight back. So turn just barely as much as you need to. Then turn your palm when it's by your hip towards your hip and go forward again. Lengthen that shoulder blade forward and keep that shoulder blade extending as you look up. Turn the palm to face out and look behind you as you stretch from the center of the breastbone back through the fingers. One more big circle. Reach forward, move the shoulder blade. Inhale, go up. Follow the thumb with the eyes and go back. Okay, go the other way. Turn the palm open, go back, look, follow with your eyes. This is helping your neck and shoulders. And reach forward and open the palm when it comes by the hip. Reach back. Move the shoulder blade, look up. One more time round. Roll the palm open as it comes down by the thigh. Okay, and then release. And I want you to look up, you can notice your hands. I'm not exaggerating. My right fingers are probably 2 or 3 inches longer than my left. I don't know if you can see that, but I can feel it. It's the same for your body. If you look down, your right arm's going to be a lot longer. Okay, let's do the other side. We're going to walk around like that all day. Left arm forward. And that shoulder blade, move it. Reach. And go up. The shoulder blade moves. Follow the thumb with the eyes. Reach back. Make that arm go straight back, but then pull the right shoulder back so you're getting that stretch across the entire chest. Inhale, go forward. Turn the palm open at the top. Look back. One more big circle this way. I call this Michael Phelps. I swear he does this. That's why he's such a good swimmer. Go the other way. Turn the palm open, look back. His arms are super long, right? We just grew one arm. We'll get this arm long too. The bottom, turn the palm open and reach. One more. Palm open when it comes by the thigh. Look. Reach as high as you can towards the ceiling, as high as you can forward, and then release the palms. And are your arms even? Yes, mine are. I can feel in the same place. Okay, good. All right, let's grab the strap and step your feet wide. All 10 toes straight ahead, and let your feet about a leg's distance apart from each other. And let's take the strap up and over your right shoulder. So I'm mirroring you. I have it on my left. So take your left arm out to the side and just use your right hand to encourage it up your back. The back of your hand is going in between the shoulder blades, and then take your right arm up. With the elbow tip going straight up, just relax the forearm as it reaches back, and you have that strap. You can walk your hands closer to each other. Some of you might clasp the fingertips. Take that right elbow tip up. Try to roll the left shoulder head back. Inhale here, reach up with the elbow tip, and exhale, come into a forward fold. Two more breaths. Press into your feet, lift your kneecaps. Inhale, butt bones down as you come up. And release your arms. One goes up, other goes out to the side. Take your arms to the side. It's not easy. And release the arms down. Oh, yes, I feel that too. Take the strap to the other side. And Make this arm limp, the right arm limp like a noodle, and use the left hand just to place it as far up your back as you can. So it looks like that. And we'll take the left arm up. And with the elbow staying up to the ceiling best you can, drop the hand back and either the strap is there and crawl the fingers closer together on the strap, or some of you clasp your hands. And inhale, reach up with that left elbow tip. And on an exhalation, forward fold. 3 breaths. On your next inhalation, plant your feet, heavy, knees lift. Inhale, reach up with the elbow tip as you rise up. And left arm goes up, right arm down. Circle the arms out to the side. Work it out here. And then exhale the arms down. Okay, bend the knees and step your feet together. All right. You're doing good? I hope so. Hope you're all feeling better. Got some belly work, some shoulder work, all those places we're holding tension. Hopefully things are starting to move in your body. So let's come into, I want you to have a block. We're going to work our way in towards opening more of the front body, and we're going to also work on the neck some more as well. Okay, so come down onto your back. If you have a block, that would be great. Something, book, it's got to be a pretty big book. And we'll come down. Have that block or whatever you have just off to the side. Roll the outer shoulders under. So the upper arm, the fleshy part of the arm rolls under. And notice that shoulder head comes up. So pin the outer shoulder down. Pressing into the entire upper arm. The outer shoulder head is pinning down. And that makes the chest go up. So as we press into the outer arms, those shoulder blades are pressing, lifting the chest here. That's good. That's what we want. And then press into the heels, the outer arms, as you float the hips up. Interlace your hands underneath you and roll to the very outside edge of the shoulders as much as you can. And with the arms straight, if best you can, press into the entirety of the upper arm and let the hips go up. The thighs are parallel. The inner thighs, the inner groins release down. And then feel your feet, all 10 toes straight ahead. And start to press your knees and your shins gently towards your shoulders. And notice how the chest starts to lift. Pin those outer shoulders down again and press into the outer arms, lift. Lift the chest, press your knees towards your shoulders, relax the jaw, relax the throat. Keep growing here. The chest, the shoulder blades pressing, the sternum is lifting towards the chin. It's growing. And then release your arms out to the side and set your hips down. Okay, find your block. And we're going to set it underneath the hips at the second highest height. So I have this stripe right here. You can see I'm going to have that in line with my tailbone sacrum area. So I'm going to turn it this way. And if you want to watch, you can. But lift my hips and I'll set that block underneath the sacrum area. So here I can grab the outside edges of the mat and roll those outer shoulders down again, just like we did. The chest is lifting. You can turn your palms up if you like. Try to extend one leg at a time. Have the legs as wide as your mat. And if it's too much, you just do one leg at a time. Roll the outer shoulders, pinning them down. And relax the throat and the jaw. Come back to the breath. And this might be enough for you. Some of you can maybe go a little higher. So please, your truth level, satya, stay exactly where you need to stay. So those of you who feel you may be able to go higher, bend your knees one at a time, feet flat, lift your hips, and take that block, if you have it, up to the highest height. I still have it lengthwise with the tailbone sacrum area. Roll the shoulders under more, the outer shoulders pin down, and try just one leg. See what happens. If it's okay, you do one leg at a time. If it's okay, take the legs straight. Legs can be as wide as the mat. If it's too much, go back to the previous level. Use your breath to open up the hip flexors, the front of the body here. One more breath. And then 1 foot at a time, set your feet flat and lift your hips up off of the block. Now we're going to set it back down. Do that 3 times. Lift your hips up and set them back down. Lift your hips up as high as you can. Remove the block and we'll stay for a moment. Press your shins, your knees towards the shoulders. Pin the outer shoulders down. Inner groins release down, thighs parallel. And then take your arms out to the side. The shoulders kind of lift and set your hips down. Oh, very nice. Take your feet as wide as your mat and take your arms out to the side like cactus arms. Shoulders, elbows the same height as the shoulders. Inhale here. And as you exhale, drop your knees over to the left like windshield wipers. And stay with your knees to the left. And you're simply going to take your right knee straight up. The left leg will be completely passive. As that right leg goes up and over, that left leg will come along for the ride when it's good and ready. Move any props that might be in your way. And the knees go to the right. And the left leg is the initiator as it goes up. And the right leg is passive, comes along when it has to. And this time, keep your knees over to the left. Press into your right inner foot. Begin to firm your right buttock as that right frontal hip, that hip flexor, reaches towards your left knee. And release, set the hips back down. We'll go over to the other side. The right leg takes the left leg over. The knees go all the way over to the right. Begin to press into your left inner foot, firming the left buttock. The front of the left hip crease is lengthening towards your right knee. And then release that down. Come back onto your back. And you're going to bring your knees in towards your chest, but cross your ankles. Cross your ankles and reach up and grab your feet. Bring the knees in towards your chest and you pull your feet sideways and down. Keep the feet slightly flexed. Oh, that's a nice pressure down, shoulders back and down. And then switch the other shin on top. For today, I'm just reaching on top of my foot, feet, and then pulling down. Shoulders back and down. And then Apanasana, each shin right next to each other, roll the shoulders down, reach the tailbone, sacrum area down, relax the throat, relax the eyes. And we'll roll over to the right side, look down, use your hands to press yourself up. Okay, we are going to set up for shoulder stand. So I understand you may not have the correct props, but please, let's try. So you will need some lift underneath your shoulders. This is a nice release, those of you feeling tension in your upper back. So I think I might show this at the wall for those of you who are newer to this pose. You might want to do that. I want to go, yes, we will do that. So let's take if you have 3 blankets or beach towels, whatever you have, we'll stack them with the folded edge, all nice and neat. And men, you're good with 2 blankets. Women, preferably 3. I'm going to take, so here's my wall space I'm using. I'm going to take my blankets up to this top part of my mat and then flip my mat over so there's 5 inches of blanket showing. Looks like this. And then this space from the edge of the blanket to the back of the mat, I'm going to fold that in half again. And then I'm going to pick up this whole unit and drag it to the wall. So there's just this little space right here. And have a block nearby if you have it. We'll set that under the hips. And if you're taller, this whole unit will come away from the wall a little bit more. So I'm going to have you watch me if you don't mind. I'm going to come up. I have my block here. Let me go over here so you can see. And I'm going to get my rear end close to the wall, take the legs up the wall. It's not so important to have the butt touch the wall as it is to have your shoulders 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the top edge of these blankets. So there's space here because as I go up, I want the tops of my shoulders to stay onto the blankets. I'm going to press my hands down. So some of you, it might be nice to set that block just underneath your hips here. You can roll the shoulders under. So I'm pinning the outer shoulders down. And I'm going to take my hands to the baseboards and press the entire outer arm down so my chest is already lifting, just like we did. And then I'll bend my knees and my hips go up. I walk my feet up a little bit up the wall so that I try to make one line, my hips over the shoulders. My shoulders are still on the blankets. My head's on the floor. I'm going to interlace my hands and roll to the outer shoulders more, and then take my hands to my back. And come on your tippy toes at the wall. If you're feeling steady, you can take one leg up and maybe the other. Okay, and then I'll instruct you here to come back down, feet to the wall, set your hips down, and then I'll have you slide back so the bottom tips of your shoulder blades are on the floor, are on the edge of the blanket, shoulders on the floor. Okay? All right. If you're up, great. If not, I will instruct you through that. Sitting on the edge or laying on the edge, the shoulder heads are 1.5 inches, 2 inches from the edge of the blanket here. See that? If you have a block, put it underneath your hips. Roll the outer arms down. Try to pin that outer shoulder down like we did so that your chest is lifting. Press into the entirety of the upper arm. And then press your feet, bend your knees, slide your feet down the wall. Your feet are flat. And start to take your hips up. Walk your feet up a little so that your shins are parallel to the ceiling. And then interlace your hands behind you. Roll to the outer shoulders and don't look at me. I'm not doing the pose. Look straight up. And if you're not doing this pose, you can do legs up the wall. Yeah, just legs up the wall. And then after you've rolled the outer shoulders under, take your hands to your back. Walk your hands down your back, closer to your shoulders. And you can come onto your tippy toes on the wall if you like. So that you might see that your hips are over your shoulders and maybe the knees are over the hips. That one line up. You can test the waters. Maybe you take one leg up and you can put that back onto the wall. Maybe you try the other leg. If you feel steady, do both. But you are getting the same amount of stretch in your neck by keeping both feet on the wall and just lifting the chest. So press into the outer arms. The upper arms are parallel, trying to make them parallel. And as you press into those outer arms, can you feel those shoulder blades pressing onto the back ribs, lifting the chest more? Relax your jaw. Relax your throat. Salamba Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. Try to stay for a little longer. Excellent pose for calming the nervous system and helping to relieve that tension in the trapezius that causes tension headaches and even migraines. It's the queen of all asanas. The queen nourishing your body. Also helping to release more white blood cells into the bloodstream. Good for your immune system. You amazing healthcare workers. Three more breaths. And then you can start to set your hips down. Let your hips come all the way down to the floor and scoot yourself back so that your shoulders are on your floor. The rolled edge of your blankets hit right at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, and just pause there. If there's room, you can either have your legs still go up the wall, or you can bring your feet together, Baddha Konasana, your knees off to the side. Do whatever feels best for you right now with the legs. Just pausing, feeling the effects that pose had on you. Or if your legs are up the wall, that too. Just inverting is especially good right now for your immunity. And then you'll push yourself back so that your hips are on the same level as your shoulders. So scoot yourself back. Hips, shoulders are on the same surface. And then from there, please roll to your right and use your hands to press yourself up. Okay, let's set up for Shavasana. Open up your mat. I hope you enjoyed that, or some version of that. It takes practice. A lot of people don't like it in the beginning because they're new to it. But the more you practice it, the better it feels. And it's such an important pose Unless you have disc issues, it's not the best practice, but great to start to practice that pose a lot more. So let's set one blanket for the head. And when you come down, sit onto your mat. You're gonna have that for your neck and your head. And I want you to roll down one vertebra at a time. And then set that blanket underneath just the neck and the head, not the shoulders. With the feet flat on the floor, use your hands and press your hips towards the feet. And then extend your legs one at a time. Legs can be more than hip bone distance apart. And then stretch out through the heels. Flexing the feet, let the calf muscle lengthen towards the heels, and then release the inner legs away from each other, relaxing the legs completely. Tuck one shoulder blade underneath you at a time, so that the upper inner arms face the ceiling. And if all feels good, close your eyes. Just noticing the natural rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. Noticing the softness in the belly region. Letting that abdominal cavity be vast, expansive, free. Let the pelvic cavity release, open, spread. And let the forehead soften down towards the eyebrows. Let your eyeballs recede and have a downward gaze towards your throat. Let the throat soften and allow the throat to recede down towards the heart. Relax the roots of your tongue, your jaw, and your lips. I'm going to give you a choice. You can either stay lying on your back. And those of you who would like to transition to a seated meditation, you'll bend one knee at a time, roll to the right, and come up. Your choice. Either way is fine. Those of you choosing to sit, maybe sitting up on a little bit of height. Allowing the same peaceful state we created in Shavasana to be present here. You can close your eyes. I'm going to read a poem called Clearing by Martha Postlewaite. You just stay with your eyes closed, sit or lie as you listen. Do not try to save the world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait there patiently until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life. Creating a clearing in the dense forest of your life. So feeling that sense of pausing, feeling your breath, your body, and your aliveness. And bringing a gentle attention to your heart. A kind of listening attention. Or this listening inward to sense what it is that really matters to you most. In this quiet, in this stillness, listening. And those of you still lying down, you can bend one knee at a time, roll to your side, and press yourself up to sit. Those of you seated, lift your chest high. Your hands together at the chest and namaste. Lifting the chest higher as the chin drops slightly. Rolling the shoulders back. Bowing to this inner palace that exists at the center of our lives. This place of great intuition, where our true essence resides. Oh, thank you so much for joining me for class tonight. Thank you to many healthcare workers on this call, on this class tonight. Thank you so much. From the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you so much. Thank you. If you would like to leave me a comment and let me know how you feel, how you're doing. If you have any questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please take care. Please slow down. Take time to go in and listen. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Lisa. Please stay safe. You too, Farah. You too, Paul. We'll be sending our prayers of sending you a blanket of protection and light. Okay, thank you so much. Namaste, everybody. See you Wednesday. I'll be back Wednesday teaching gentle yoga and also Saturday morning for flow. Okay, thank you. Good night. Sleep well.